Warning signs of bullying in your child. Are you concerned about your child's well-being at school or online? You're not alone. Every parent wants to ensure their child feels safe and supported, especially in today's world. But what if your child is being bullied and doesn't feel comfortable sharing it with you? It can be tough to navigate, but fear not. There are signs you can watch out for to protect your child and help them through it. Join us as we explore the warning signs of bullying in your child and discover proactive ways you can intervene and provide the support they need. Stay tuned and let's dive into this important topic together. Number 10. Friendship changes. Let's start with the number 10th sign. If your kid's suddenly losing friends or their squad is going through some significant changes, it could be a red flag for bullying, especially in the world of teens. And if your teen dodges hangouts with friends, it might hint at some bullying in their circle. Mean girls groups are often the culprits, and spotting it can be tricky for the kids. But fear not. Stay in the loop by chatting with other parents in the gang. That way, you'll be the first to know if your kid's missing out on parties or group hangouts. Number 9. Frequent crying or strong emotional reactions. Ever had those moments where your little one or teen goes from zero to emotional superhero when you bring up school or weekend plans? Well, buckle up because it might be more than just a regular mood swing. If your younger kiddos get all teary-eyed over school discussions, or your high schoolers become drama kings and queens about Friday night plans, it could be a sneaky sign that anxiety is paying a visit. Imagine this: a sudden emotional roller coaster or a no-go zone when you touch on these topics. So keep those rad parenting instincts sharp. Look out for these signals, and let's make sure our young champs feel supported in every twist and turn of their emotional adventure. Number 8. Body signs or feelings of discomfort. It's not just about the visible bumps and bruises for our kids. If your little ones are constantly griping about headaches, tummy aches, or mysterious cuts and scratches, it might be a telltale sign of bullying. And we should tune in when our kids complain about these physical woes because, believe it or not, it could be their way of saying, "Hey, I'm stressed out or feeling anxious." Sure, a stomach ache might be just that. But let's be detectives of parenting and keep tabs on how often these complaints pop up and when they do. Watch out for changes in their eating habits, like skipping meals or coming home ravenous because they missed lunch to dodge bullying. So, if you notice these signs, it's prime time to dive into your child's world and figure out what's really going on. Number 7. Not enjoying favorite activities anymore. Now, let's talk about some signs that your child might face some challenges. If your kiddo starts skipping school activities or suddenly claims that everything's canceled, it could be a red flag for bullying. And here's a heads up. If your child loses interest in their favorite sport, hobby, or activity, that's another signal that something might be up. Changes in their routine can be a sign that it's time to dig deeper and find out what's going on. As your child grows up, it's normal for their interests to shift or for them to spend less time hanging out in person. The social aspect might be less noticeable if your child is into online gaming and needs to get more friends. However, if their change in interests seems sudden or unexpected, it might be worth having a chat to understand what's going on in their world. Number 6. Excessive use or avoidance of gadgets. If your child is dealing with cyberbullying, you might notice two things. They could become super attached to their gadgets, or they might suddenly go off the grid. If it's the first scenario and you try to limit their screen time, be ready for some pushback. On the flip side, getting in touch with them might be a challenge if they're avoiding their devices altogether. Here's a tip. Setting some ground rules for online activities right from the start of their social media journey can be a game changer. Kids might be a bit hesitant to open up about cyberbullying because they worry about losing their devices. So, let's make it clear. We're not here to snatch their gadgets, but to be the sidekick that helps solve the problem. Number 5. Lost, broken, or misplaced belongings. We know kids can be forgetful, but if it's happening a lot, it might be more than just a case of leaving things behind. When a child is getting bullied, their belongings might be getting messed with or even taken. Experts suggest that if your child's stuff is coming back damaged and their explanations sound a bit off, it could be a sign of bullying. So it's time to do some detective work if you're finding torn clothes, battered books, missing toys, or gadgets that look like they've been through a war. Let's make sure our little ones aren't just losing things, but are safe and sound from any bullying. Number 4. Troubled sleep. Now let's dive into something that's not always easy to spot. Our kids' nighttime struggles. If your child is feeling jittery or worried about what's coming up at school or anywhere else, it might be causing them some sleep troubles. Picture this: restless tossing and turning, a tough time falling asleep, and waking up looking more tired than usual. And if your kid seems worn out at breakfast, it could be a sign they're having a rough night. Now, exhaustion can wear different disguises. If your child finds it hard to focus or slacking on the hygiene front, it might be more than just a lack of sleep. It could be linked to anything from sleep issues to dealing with bullying or even facing some blues. Number 3. Avoiding family time. The number 3 alarming sign on our list is avoiding family time. If your kiddo is suddenly less chatty than their usual bubbly selves or making a beeline straight to their room after school, it's worth paying attention. These could be little flags signaling something might be up in their world. And here's a twist. Acting out against siblings might be more than sibling rivalry. Prolonged bullying could make a kiddo ditch the victim stance and become a bit reactive with their brothers, sisters, and other kids. It's like they're changing their playbook. So, let's keep our parenting radars tuned in for these cues. Be the detectives we are, and ensure our little ones feel supported no matter what's going on. Number 2. Declining academic performance. Let's shine a light on something crucial: our kiddos and their school vibes. When kids face bullying, it's like they've got this huge distraction cloud hovering over their academic world. So, how do we spot it? Keep an eye out for signs like your child refusing to go to school, sudden dips in their grades, and more. If your little scholar spends too much time dealing with, ignoring, or defending themselves from a bully, it leaves little room for anything else. But if the bullying isn't happening at school, a drop in grades might still be waving a little red flag. So let's be those vigilant parents. Notice these shifts and make sure our kids get the support they need. Number 1. Mood changes. And lastly, at number 1 on our list, if you notice a significant shift in how your child usually acts or their typical personality, it might hint that something's up. Kids facing bullying might show signs like feeling anxious, becoming clingy, turning a bit sullen, or withdrawing. Watch out for changes like your child getting more irritable, snapping back at comments, or seeming on edge. If they start feeling worried or hesitant about being out in public, it could be a sign of bullying. And here's a big one. If your child's self-esteem takes a hit, blames themselves for things, or feels like they're not good enough, it's time to dig deeper. In some severe cases, a bullied child might even engage in self-destructive behaviors or talk about really tough stuff like self-harm or suicide. Now, even if bullying isn't the cause, mood changes are still a big deal and could point to a mental health issue. If you found this video helpful or have any thoughts to share, drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to stay in the loop for more insightful videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps us going, so show some love, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a ton for watching.